The purpose of this short video is to prepare you and your child for what to expect at Chicago Fire Junior's fall programming. To ensure the safety of everyone, parents and participants are expected to adhere to the program codes of conduct that were signed during the online registration process. Please review these documents again prior to arrival to ensure you are aware of all safety policies and procedures. We will now talk you through the 4 distinct phases of the day. 1. Before leaving the house. 2. Arriving at the facility. 3. On the fields. And 4. Leaving the facility. Please arrive at the facility ready to play, wearing a uniform, cleats, shin guards, and face mask. Participants will also require a ball, plenty of water, and a healthy snack, as well as personal protective equipment including disinfecting wipes, hand sanitizer, and face mask. All personal equipment should be thoroughly wiped down before leaving the house. Before leaving the house, we require you to ask your child these 2 questions. In the past 14 days, have you experienced any of these symptoms? If symptoms are due to a known, non-worsening chronic condition, family may answer no. Fever of 100 degrees Fahrenheit or above, cough, shortness of breath or difficulty breathing, chills, fatigue, muscle or body aches and pains, sore throat, headache, nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, or gastrointestinal pain, congestion or runny nose, and new loss of taste or smell. Is there any reason to believe that you've been exposed to COVID-19 virus in the past 14 days? For example, have you been exposed to anyone diagnosed with COVID-19 or anyone with COVID-19 symptoms? If possible, we also strongly encourage you carry out a self-temperature assessment before leaving the house. If you answer yes to any of the above questions or have a temperature reading of 100 degrees Fahrenheit or above, please stay at home and contact Chicago Fire Junior staff. When planning for your program arrival, we strongly recommend against carpooling. Please plan your trip so that you arrive on time for your scheduled check-in window, as these will be staggered to best manage traffic flow. If you arrive late for your scheduled check-in time, please wait in your car until all the other participants are checked in. When you arrive at the facility, please follow signage to your designated check-in lane. Parents and players will be required to wear their face masks at all times during the check-in process. When it is your turn, you will be ushered forward by a member of staff. At this time, parents and participants will be asked a series of questions from our COVID-19 symptom and exposure questionnaire. Our program staff will then take the player's temperature through the car window using a touchless thermometer. If there are any symptoms or exposure reported, or if the temperature reading is above 100 degrees Fahrenheit, the participant will be asked to return home and cannot return to any programming for 14 days. If there are no symptoms or exposure reported and the temperature reading is less than 100 degrees Fahrenheit, the participant will exit the vehicle and walk to their assigned check-in station. We will securely save all data to best enable us to track and trace potential COVID-19 outbreaks. At the check-in station, players will be required to sanitize their hands before making their way onto the field. If a player is driving themselves and is parking for a walk-up check-in, please follow this altered process. All players are required to wear a mask as they park their vehicle and approach the check-in table. Players will be asked to remain 6 feet apart as they wait to be checked in. Once at the table, the player will be asked a series of questions from our COVID-19 symptom and exposure questionnaire. Our program staff will then take the player's temperature using a touchless thermometer. If there are any symptoms or exposure reported, or if the temperature reading is above 100 degrees Fahrenheit, the participant will be asked to return to their vehicle and leave the facility. They cannot return to any programming for 14 days. If there are no symptoms or exposure reported and the temperature reading is less than 100 degrees Fahrenheit, the participant will continue to their assigned field. We will securely save all data to best enable us to track and trace potential COVID-19 outbreaks. At the check-in station, players will be required to sanitize their hands before making their way to the field. Participants will be directed to their field and personal zone, where they will put down their belongings and remove their face mask. In alignment with COVID-19 guidelines, players will not be able to move between groups through the course of the season and will stay with their coach on their assigned field for the entire training. Participants will be grouped based on their age, with a maximum of 45 children per group. Coaches will use their football knowledge and experience to lead players through a fun, technical, and challenging curriculum. As allowed by state and local guidance, some competitive play, such as small-sided games and scrimmages, will be permitted. Staff will ensure that players are taking frequent breaks throughout programming to rehydrate, sanitize their hands and equipment, and use the bathroom. There will be signage and staff located throughout the facility to guide participants through the correct social distancing and sanitization protocols. At the end of the session, participants will sanitize their hands and all personal equipment. When picking up your child, please plan your trip so that you arrive on time for your scheduled checkout window, as these will be staggered to best manage traffic flow. We once again strongly recommend against carpooling. Upon arriving at the facility, parents will follow signage to their designated pickup lane. Parents will remain in the car at all times while wearing their face masks. Players wearing their face masks will be escorted to their car by a member of staff. Thank you again for being part of Chicago Fire Juniors. We look forward to seeing you and your child this fall and providing the safest football experience possible to all participants. If you have any additional questions, please visit our FAQ section on our club websites.